Hey there, everybody, and welcome back to Utility Sports. Playoff football is back, and boy, was it a great one. The start of Super Wild Card weekend was phenomenal. We had a lot of really good games today, and the most recent one being the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with a 31-23 win over the Washington football team. And we're going to use this video here to talk about Tom Brady, his greatness, even at 43 years old, kind of what he still shows on the tape, and how he's beating Father Time. So, Austin, Tom Brady's a big, you're a big fan of his. Walk us through kind of what you see in Tom Brady still watching the tape today, what he brings to a football team, and why he's still so dominant at such an old age.
Exactly. And something that is very undervalued in his game is the ability to still throw the deep ball. Obviously, we saw the stat actually mid-game where he has 88 throws or attempts of plus 20 plus yards, which led the NFL. So all of these people that are naysayers and they just hate Tom Brady will say he can't throw the deep ball. He's never been able to. I mean, that stat, really shows that he has the ability to push the ball deep. The coaches trust him to put the ball deep. And we saw again tonight, he can do that. He does display the ability to still do so. Obviously, you look and watch him throw. The ball is still very lively coming off of his arm. It just looks really, really good. Mechanics still look great as always. He's such a refined player. Mentally, he's way ahead of everybody. As you can see, he knows how to call out the blitzes. He had a lot of the blitzes picked up, had the linemen, go exactly where they needed to go. Obviously does a phenomenal job staying composed throughout the course of a game. Obviously, he could have been very frustrated with, the Chris Godwin drops. He had three really brutal drops throughout the course of the game. Kept his head up, continued to keep fighting. Obviously, that is not an easy defense to go against. Washington's one of the better defenses in the NFL. Obviously, on the opposite side of him was Taylor Heineke, who was obviously only making his second start ever. But a lot of props to him on how he was able to dissect that Washington football team defense. Overall, I was impressed with the game.
Yeah, the one thing that sticks out to me every time I get to watch Tom Brady is really his velocity that he has throwing the football yet at his age. That's not something you really see in a 43-year-old quarterback. Looking back at Peyton Manning and kind of his retirement tour when they had won the Super Bowl there in Denver, he just didn't have velocity behind his throws. He was throwing a lot of ducks and really was built off of a run game and defense. Tom Brady, I still feel, is a QB you can win a Super Bowl with him leading the way there. Today, we saw him target 8 different receivers, 6 of them coming down with catches. And like you had mentioned, him throwing the ball deep down the field. Mike Evans had a huge catch when that was I believe, 5-point game to about 20, 25 yards down the field, right over the top of the cornerback in front of the safety. That's a really wonderful throw from Tom Brady. In addition to that, too, like you had mentioned, the mental aspect of the game, he reads the defense, he makes adjustments, he gets the ball out quick when he has to, and he really puts his team in the best situation to win, limits the turnovers, and really controls the field position game better than almost anyone does at the quarterback position. And I think he's really become undervalued, actually, in a lot of ways. A lot of people seem to not look at him as a top 10 quarterback in the NFL anymore. I think that's kind of ludicrous. He was second in the league in passing touchdowns, I believe third in passing yards, just behind Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. And quite frankly, the guy goes out there and balls every single Sunday. He did it again today on Saturday in a playoff game against, a team that, they should have beat, but that's a little bit of a trap game, and they're still a very good defense. And that's really where he came out, showed out. I'm very impressed by Tom Brady. For those of you who know, I'm a Jets fan. I had to root against this guy for a long time in my division for the New England Patriots. I'm so thankful he's in Tampa Bay that I get to appreciate his game a little bit more, respect him for what he is now that he's out of my division. And just quite frankly, he's been dominant for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this season.
Yeah, of course. I think you said all the right things in that. And obviously, Tom Brady deserves a little more respect than he currently gets. It's really unfortunate that people they're so critical of his game and they just can't appreciate what they're seeing in front of them. A lot of people want to believe that he is really falling off a cliff. And quite frankly, that is the furthest thing from the truth. Obviously, he had a phenomenal season as a whole, came in this postseason game, played really well. Obviously, Taylor Heineke did a really nice job on the other side to keep Washington in that game. But, going against that front four of Washington's, I mean, he was faced with some pressure, did a nice job handling it, was still able to step into his throws and deliver under pressure as well. Obviously, I think that was a game that they could have felt, they were going to just walk into and win because of the opposite quarterback situation. But early on, we saw Taylor Heineke was in a rhythm. So at that point, then they had to feel compelled to really put points on the board. And Mike Evans stepped up big time. Chris Godwin had an atrocious game. Actually, don't let the 5 catches, 79 yards fool you. He had a very bad game by his standards. Antonio Brown didn't get a ton of run in the offense, but when he did ultimately get the ball in his hands, he made some big plays.
Yeah, definitely. You're looking at a really dynamic offense there actually in Tampa Bay. I think that they should be a team considered to possibly go all the way, especially with Tom Brady at the QB position. He gives you so much experience in the playoffs. I believe he's played the most playoff games out of any player now in the NFL history. And just honestly, it's really impressive comparing him to other 43-year-old quarterbacks. Most QBs in their age 43 season have, I believe it's a list of 6 players, and all of them have less than 700 passing yards that year. Tom Brady came out through for 4,000 yards. Tom Brady threw for more touchdowns this season alone than all other age 43 QBs combined, with less picks than them combined as well. It's just marvelous what he's able to do. The TB12 method is definitely working out for the best for him. And I just think we're going to see a lot more great football from him, not only the rest of this playoffs, but probably for another year or 2 even yet, which is not something you can really expect to say about a guy his age. But that'll conclude our video here. We are going to have a Taylor Heineke video coming out on the channel as well. So if that's something you're interested in, go check that out. Also hit that subscribe button if you guys haven't already, and we'll catch you in the next one.